I wasn't on the board. Now, guys, the first thing we're doing is this here is 50, yeah? And the other side is 50, which means the radius is half of it. So I think we should all be able to find out that x is actually 25. How do you know it's 25? Yeah. So look, A part 1, all of us get that, right? Happy days. Okay. Now, it's 25. Then we go to part 2. Work out the total area of the golf course. Well, I'd say that the golf course is made up of a rectangle plus a semicircle. Agreed? And if I'm looking for easy attempt marks, I'll take on the rectangle first. And I'll go, okay, rectangle, you're 50. Oh, harder than we gave it credit for, okay? So what it is, do you see y? Do you see y? Y plus 25 is the same as 300. So what does that mean y has to be? Yeah, because it's 300 from bottom to the top of the semicircle. So y is actually 275. So that's going to be 50 times 275. Can anybody give me the answer for 50 times 275? Anybody got a calculator handy now? So what was it? 13,750. Now the next one, guys, is half a circle. And the area of the circle is pi r squared. But then you're going to have to divide that answer by 2. Agreed? So it's going to be pi times 25 squared divided by 2. Could you give me that answer in decimals, please? Or to the nearest meter, even? So what do we get there then, guys? 900 and? Anybody else happy with 982 meters squared? Yeah? Then get that 982 and add it on to 13,750 to get your combined answer of your rectangle plus your semicircle. Do something else. What'd you get? 14,732 meters squared. Happy enough with that? Okay. That was tough part 2, to be fair to it. Okay. Now, next one. She's spreading fertilizer on the whole golf course, and 6 litres of fertilizer covers 250 meters of ground. She needs to cover 809,371 meters squared with fertilizer. How many litres of fertilizer does she need to use? Okay. That's interesting. So, I think we're going to get to 809,371. And we're going to divide by what? 250. Imagine they come in 6 litre bottles, for argument's sake. So we're trying to find out how many 6 litre bottles we need. Is that alright? So somebody give me the answer for that? What you reckon? Anybody know? Just use your calculator for me, it'd be great. 809,371 divided by 250. Which one? 3237. Any decimal? 0.48. Now, I'm going to multiply that. That's how many bottles I need. Alright? But I'm going to have to multiply that by 6. Because there's 6 litres in each one of them. So I'm going to have to multiply the answer by 6. And what do I get when I multiply it by 6? One more time. 19,425 point what? Oh, round it to the nearest whole number. So that's litres. So you only need 19,425 litres. Now, fertilizer is made up of the following ingredients. Okay? And what it says is, work out the number of milliliters of B in a litre of fertilizer. Now, this is tough. Does anybody remember how to do ratios back in the day? What did we do back in the day? If it was 1 is to 2 is to 3. Anybody remember? You add up all the ratio together and what you get? 6 parts, yeah? And then you have to find out what 1 part is, 2 parts, and 3 parts. Let's do this the exact same way. Why don't we add 1, 3 over 2, and 5 over 3 together? So could somebody do that in the calculator for me? Add them together and find out how many parts in total we have. Anybody know? Give it to me as a fraction, if possible. 25 over 6. 25 over 6 parts equals 1 litre, which is 1,000 milliliters. Is that okay? Agreed? Now, how do you find out what 1 part is? So, for argument's sake, if I said 6 parts equals 18, how would you find out what 1 part is? Divide by 6. So, why don't you just divide by 25 over 6 for me? And once again, give it to me as a fraction and a decimal if you want. So, what do you think? Over? Just 240. Excellent. 240 milliliters, yeah? Now, look at B. B isn't 1. Would you all agree that B is 3 over 2? Or 1.5 parts? Do you think 1.5 parts will be bigger or smaller than 240? You can either multiply by 1.5 or you can multiply by 3 over 2. Your choice. Multiply by 1.5. And what you get? 360 milliliters. Shh. Look at the answer. Obviously wants me to work out a volume of a cylinder, doesn't it? Everybody happy with the volume of a cylinder? Get marks on the board. Please write down the volume of a cylinder formula. Pi r squared h. Now there is one problem. I'm not happy about this 90 centimeters. Can anybody explain why? And the answer is given in meters cubed. So change that to 0.9 meters because you have to divide by 100 to turn it into meters. Then fill in your equation. Pi times 0.9 squared. I think O is going to give me the calculation in a second, I'm hoping.
Me?
Either O will do. Okay. Was everybody happy with 10.18 meters cubed? You okay with that? Done. That's easy. That was so much easier than part C. Now part E. The diagram on the right shows a different cylindrical tank with a volume of 81 pi over 121 meters cubed. The length is 3 times as long as the radius. Okay. So once again, how would you attempt this question for marks? What shape is it? What shape is it? Cylinder. What did they give us? So if you wrote down the volume of a cylinder formula and put it equal to this, you may be entitled to attempt marks. Realistically, as a H3 class, you're in this for attempt marks. This is a very difficult question. Now, here's the deal. Would you all agree that the length is 3r? All agree length is 3r? How do I know that? Yeah, or the height is 3r. And the radius is also r. Let's try fill this in for more marks. So what do we get? Pi. What do you want me to replace radius with? Just r squared. What do you want me to replace h with? 3r. Now, here's where things get a bit awkward, okay? Is there a pi on both sides? Is the pi being multiplied on both sides? Yeah, it's pi multiplied by r squared multiplied by 3r on the left, and it's 81 multiplied by pi on the right. Therefore, the pi's can cancel. Nextly, what's r squared multiplied by r? R cubed. And that's 81 over 125. I forgot the 3, didn't I? The 3 is multiplying on the left, which means on the right it's going to be division. And here's what I want you to enter in your calculator. I'd like you all to do 81 divided by 125 times 3. And give me the answer when you're ready. Okay, the last part. Who knows how to finish this question? Cube root. So instead of the square root works when you say x squared equals 25. You go, well, x equals root 25, which is 5. Cube root is different. Cube root of 27. What number when I multiply it by itself 3 times gives me 27? You don't use the square root, but you use the cube root with the small 3 on the outside. So this is like that one. You're going to use cube root 27 over 125. Pretty sure you get 3 over 5. Or 0.6. Is that okay?